Welcome back to Football U. In this video, we're going to be talking about Rip Liz coverage, cover 3 match against wide stacks in a 2x2 formation. It could be a 2x1 formation or any formation where you got two receivers that are stacked on top of each other. We'll go over the wide adjustment for that, and then also the condense check for that as well. But my name is Colin Lark, founder of Football U and a former walk-on at the University of Georgia. If you get value out of this video, feel free to think about subscribing to the channel. And then also check out our app on the App Store, Football U, that's one word, Football U, to be able to dynamically visualize plays on our free whiteboard on the app. You can also sign up for an account at footballu.com to be able to create an account, assign out plays to your team, and dynamically visualize your own playbook and allow players to rep plays from any phone or computer anytime outside the practice. But welcome to the video, and let's get into it. All right, Rip Liz coverage against stacks. So in every coverage, we really want to be able to have checks that get our coverage to be able to play against stacks and also bunches as well. Bunches I kind of went over in the last video. You'll kind of want to have that call be slip or whatever you want to call that, right? To put it into your zone to that side for your 3x1. But today we're just going to go over 2x2 condensed and the check against some stacks, right? So Rip Liz coverage 3 match. The first one that we can do, especially if these guys are condensed, is going to be the same thing that we would in is if these guys were just regularly condensed in a 2x2 set. Is call what we call ice, right? So this curl flat defender to either side would be calling out ice. Right here in this picture, we got our nickel Sam and our strong safety. And this would just be telling that hook defender to that side, the curl flat defender to that side, and the corner to that side that we're playing are more of our traditional spot drop cover 3. And they would be able to basically spot drop and play that type of a coverage, right? Went over this in the last video, so I won't go too in depth with this, but let's say if we had some type of a stick concept right here, with the number 2 out here to the flat, this curl flat defender will be pushing with that. He's not carrying any vertical of number 2. He's not carrying any verticals at all, really, like he would in traditional Rip Liz coverage. Not traditional, but like he would in a regular 2x2 Rip Liz coverage. If he had something like this, curl flat defender would have leverage to play out on the outside on anything flat, and the next hook defender is able to play inside, spot dropping into the hook, and then able to react and come down and make a play on that next underneath guys. So we have basically 2 spot dropping guys in ice. That's one way to play stacks, right? Is if these guys were condensed right here, you can just play these the exact same way we would our traditional 3. We'd have the corner over the top to play any verticals if we need to. And with any type of a 7, a corner would be able to play over the top right here. Got this hook defender able to try to work to reroute. And then obviously we have our middle field safety over the top to help us out on any type of a post, help us out on double seams. We're not carrying any seams like we would in Rip Liz 2x2, but we do get our spot droppers and 2 for 2 here on anything underneath, and our corner over the top to help on anything deep, right? So that's the first check we can do, is we can just ice, any stacks, right? This is obviously a nickel look right here. This is supposed to be my star or my nickel, right? But if this was a Sam in 12 personnel and we were matching out with our regular personnel opposed to nickel, and I just like to designate these guys by shapes. So if this was a Sam right here, a linebacker type instead of a DB, I'd really like to ice just about any stack alignment that we have out here, right? This guy would be kind of apexing, leaning towards this side if these guys were super wide. But the other option is what I'm about to go over here in a minute, is we can basically call a man concept to this and place cover 3 everywhere else. But I don't love to do that whenever I have a linebacker type out here, right? If I have a linebacker type, I'd rather play my ice, my zone, spot drop, and make sure that this guy is not going to be carrying anything vertical if they ran some type of a double verts concept, something like that. So that's the first option we can do whenever we get stacks, is just call ice, zone that thing out, and play that exactly like you would your traditional spot drop 3.
Okay, so in addition to being able to play our zone, right, which we just call ice, we can also just call any man concept basically to this 2-receiver stack. Have this curl flat defender and the corner basically play man, and then everybody else playing their traditional rip Liz coverage. We still have our hook player over to the side being able to take any 3 through. And then the only difference between this and man for this curl flat defender in this corner against a stack is if you get any under right now from the offense, we're actually just going to be able to call an under call like we would in our traditional cover 3, and you'd be able to fall off on that. But outside of this, you can basically play any man concepts. I'll go over kind of in a different video all the different stack concepts you can play against while you're in middle field close man coverage. But for right now, let's just introduce one concept, a concept which we're going to call pin. All right. What pin is saying is a very simple concept, but basically this SAM or curl flat component, it can be this down safety, or whoever's playing that curl flat in this rip Liz coverage is going to be calling pin, and he's just going to be saying that he's got the points, the guy on the line of scrimmage, man to man, and this corner right here is going to have the off the ball guy in man coverage as well, right? If you recall to our basic cover 3 in the divider rules, right? If our guy is outside the divider, which is an imaginary line, which is about 2 yards outside the high school hash, 3 to 4 or 5 yards outside the college hash, if the ball's on the opposite hash, you can make that whatever you want, right? But the way I would like to play pin is to have outside leverage if your guy is outside that divider, and then inside leverage if that guy is outside the divider, right? The reason for that is we have this middle field safety back here to be able to help us out on any type of deep play over the middle, right? If you had verts concept, a post like this, all this stuff applies both post-snap and pre-snap, right? So we're saying post-snap that with this guy, with this number 2 so wide, this guy that's on the ball, we're basically saying that we would be inside leverage because we're not going to have help from that safety deep. But as this guy is vertical, if he comes inside the divider now, then at that point we can go from tracking his upfield inside shoulder to his downfield, backfield inside shoulder, right? So if you had a deep post like this, we'd be getting a pin call. Now this nickel Sam right here is going to be manned up on this guy on the ball, and this corner is going to be manned up on this guy off the ball right here. You want to have these guys on different levels. I like to press the Sam, press the guy on the point to disrupt timing, and then have this off-ball guy basically playing the same divider rules as well, just playing him basically in off-man coverage, right? The same way you would in cover 1. But if this guy's vertical underneath the divider, this Sam now can then start tracking his outside low hip to be able to undercut anything underneath. If you get a seam ball right here, he can undercut this right here. And he's got help from this midfield safety, which is why he can play low and outside right here. If this number 2, if this guy were to run a go ball right here, let's say we had a cross, something like this. Both these guys are playing the same technique. This Sam now, with the guy going vertical, the on-ball guy, he's going to be playing his upfield inside shoulder because he does not have help from that middle field safety over the top. It's basically a man coverage between these two guys, right? So this Sam would be tracking this upfield inside shoulder of the guy on the ball who's his man-to-man. And this corner right here is going to be tracking the same way that corner would. If this guy's now inside the divider, he's able to play underneath this guy as he's vertical and matching this guy even as he's running any over, unless this guy is running an under call right now. So let's go over that real quick. If for either one of these guys, right, whether it be the corner or the down Sam, the curl flat defender this side, if their guy runs an under right here, a shallow something like this, we can give an under call to this underneath hook defender, and he's going to be then being able to track 3 through back to his side, right? So if we had something like this, right? This guy, the corner would still be on his man as he's vertical, but this Sam right here, this nickel Sam, I actually would like to refer to him as my star. He's going to be able to give an under call to this hook defender, right? So as we get this, he's got this guy under. He's got 3 coming back out to his side, and now he can work to basically play zone, right? If you're calling under, you can call that zone. But that's how you can go about playing a stack check, a man check basically in your Ripley's cover 3 match type of a world right here. You can basically call any stack check that you have in your single high 1-man defense in this, right? So if you wanted to call, if you had a different concept other than pin, you can call that. You can have this guy on the off-ball guy, this corner on the on-ball guy. Whatever your man concept that you want to run for that is, you can run that out of Ripley's. You just make that check, and you can call it pin zone, right? Pin meaning that you got the man concept, zone meaning that you got the ability to call an under on that if your guy's going to be shallow, right? But that is 2 ways, right, that you can go about playing stacks in Ripley's coverage. We can go our man concept, pin, right? And then our regular zone check, which we call ice, right? So that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions about particular route concepts and how you can play that again, whether you're in pin or ice, feel free to leave me a comment or question. I'll try to get back to you. But thanks for watching. If you like the software that we were using, feel free to check us out over at footballu.com and download our app, Football U, on the App Store. That's one word, Football U. But thank you for watching. See you next time.